So guys, I am able to get lots of blooms in one of my hydrangea plant, but there are some issues. That's why I decided to do that today's video, and here in this video I am also going to discuss few very important things. See, from last few days back I have been getting many questions like why the leaves on my plant is turning light green color. Next questions, why I am able to see some black spot on the leaves. And finally the most important question, like why my plant is not blooming. So in today's video I am going to give you the solutions for all the problems, plus I am also able to see somewhat similar kind of symptoms in one of my plant, and that's why it would be much better if I show you everything live instead of showing some picture. Alright, so let's get started and let me show you the first symptom. You can see that the new leaves on my hydrangea plant is looking lighter green color. However, the veins are green and rest part of the leaves are looking absolutely lighter green. Now let me show you the older leaves, and here you can see that the leaves are looking green color. Now this is a sign of iron deficiency, and this happens when the soil is alkaline. Please note that hydrangea plant need acidic soil, and if the soil is alkaline, that time you are going to see the iron deficiency on your plant. This is the same thing is happening with this plant, and if you want to avoid the iron deficiency, you can apply the micronutrients, but believe me, that's not going to help the plant in a big way because the soil itself is alkaline. So instead what you can do is you can provide your plant somewhat compost, either vermicompost or any compost, as compost is acidic. To make the soil acidic, we can apply component like aluminum sulfate. I already applied on my plant few days back, and hopefully it's going to make the soil acidic, and eventually the leaves are going to look much greener. My pot is quite big, it's also a 14-inch container, and that's why I am using 3 teaspoons of aluminum sulfate. But if you are growing in a much smaller container, then I would recommend you to use only 1 teaspoon. So let's say if you are growing your hydrangea plant in 8-inch or 10-inch container, then you can use 1 teaspoon, or if you like you can also mix 1 teaspoon in 1 liter water and then directly apply on the soil. Now please allow me to show you the difference between the iron deficiency and the magnesium deficiency. Both are very similar, but in the iron deficiency the new leaves are going to turn lighter green and older leaves are going to remain green color. However, in the magnesium deficiency, the overall leaves are going to turn lighter green color. Now let me show you one example here. So here you can see this is one of my jasmine plant, and you can see the mostly all the leaves are looking absolutely lighter green color. So this is a clear sign of magnesium deficiency. However, I know that my jasmine plant is also lacking of irons. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic, and this is also quite commonly found on hydrangea plant. So here what's going to happen is, see, you are going to see somewhat black spot, or the leaves are going to look somewhat black color. Similar to this one, if you are getting this kind of symptoms, then please note that it's known as Sarcospora leaf spot fungus. Alright, it's a fungal disease, and mostly this thing happens in the off time. I mean, you are going to see similar kind of symptoms mostly in the springtime or as soon as the hydrangea plant is done with the blooming. So you are going to find the black spot disease on your hydrangea plant in the winter time, that is quite common, and let me tell you that you really don't have to worry too much about it. For me, I really don't worry about too much about it, and I just provide my plant the required nutrients. I also try to provide it fresh soil, and that way I know that the plant is going to grow much healthy way in a coming few days. For your info, I reported this plant just few days back, and that's why I am able to see the black spot on my hydrangea plant. Now if only one or two leaves are turning similar to me, then I would say that please don't worry too much about it. Just provide your plant the required nutrients and water, and eventually your plant is going to bloom really very well. Here you can see I am already getting the buds on my plant, and I know that it's going to look much more healthier in coming few days. Finally, the most important question, like why my plant is not blooming. Honestly saying, there could be many possibilities. For example, your plant is not blooming means it's not getting the enough direct sunlight. On the second point, maybe your plant is not getting the enough required nutrient. And finally, maybe you have done something wrong while pruning your hydrangea plant. I have already discussed everything in my previous video, and I would recommend you to watch that video because I know that you are going to find all the answers in that video. Okay, let me show you something very interesting thing. So this is the same hydrangea plant that I have shared with you few days back. You have seen me doing everything, like the type of soil I provided and how I pruned my plant, and now you see the result. I mean, just take a look at the plant. It's looking absolutely healthy. There is no any sign of any kind of deficiency. Plus, I am able to see lots of new buds on my plant. So I am really hoping that this year I will be able to achieve my goal. Lots of new buds, as you can see. कहीं नजर न लग जाए मेरी plant को. Now let me show you the most important thing. So I recorded this clip just a few days back, and here you can see that I was getting similar kind of symptoms on this plant too. The symptoms like the iron deficiency, but like I said you, I am really not worried, and I know that my plant is going to look much better because I have provided it really good soil, and that's why you can see currently it's looking really fresh and green. So far I haven't applied any kind of fertilizers as well. So guys, this was all about few of the most common problems found on hydrangea, and if you are able to get similar kind of symptoms, then I hope that you'll be able to do the necessary things. I hope you found the video useful, and if you did, please don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching the video. I truly appreciate it, and if you still have any more questions, then please don't forget to ask me. Happy gardening, take care and enjoy.